PC エンジン512色スーパービジュアル6チャンネルリアルサウンドニューワールドを制覇する PC エンジン全開 NEC から。
Hey everybody, welcome back to Video So today we're continuing the series, the PC Engine Playhouse, where I take a look at my favorite PC Engine games of all time, both on the Hue card side as well as the CD-ROM side. And today we have Momotaru Katsugeki. It's the only time I'm going to be trying to pronounce that in the video. From now on, I'm just calling it the game. And I wanted to feature one 2D platformer on this playlist, but I did not want to play Bonk. One, because that is the obvious choice, and two, while I always enjoy that game, it definitely is not my favorite series whatsoever. So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper and come out with another fun 2D platformer that you guys can enjoy that you probably never heard of, and I think this one will definitely qualify for that. Before we get too far involved, though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, you got a Patreon link down below as well. But this is just a super cute, colorful, charming 2D action platformer that is challenging when it needs to be and fun all the time. But do leave me a comment down below and tell me if you've ever heard of this one before, because I would be curious to know who knows about it. And that's the thing, the PC Engine has so many incredible shmups and so many incredible games, but when it comes to the 2D platformer side, it isn't the strongest library compared to something like Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. And I love when you die, you float up into the sky like an angel. But this game here definitely does the job. It definitely slakes that thirst for a good 2D platformer on the system. Pair that together with some awesome Hue card music as well as some great PC Engine colorful graphics, and you really have a recipe for a very good game, and one that you might be discovering for the first time on this video today. This is just such a good time. It's challenging here and there, it shows you what you need to do, and the best part, which I'll show you shortly, is that it does have some light action RPG elements to it as well. But pretty much every boss, sub-boss or otherwise, has a full pattern to it, almost like a shmup as far as the pattern is concerned. Once you understand the pattern and what needs to be done, you can basically beat a boss without ever taking a hit. But it's learning that pattern quickly that you actually have to figure out, because you need to be reacting quick on your toes in this game, or else it's 100% going to kill you. You need to get some momentum in your run. You'll see that there's about two different speeds, a walking speed, and then if you hold down the D-pad for a few seconds, more of a fast walk speed. You're going to need to maintain this speed to make sure you get over the gaps, but the fun part is sometimes you'll fall into a gap and it's not a death but actually a secret, and I will show you that in just a moment. But I love this character here, throws his teeth at you like an old elderly person and just keeps moving on. And that's the fun thing about this game. It's so weird, unique, and charming. You're never quite sure what you're going to see next, but you're always curious what's around the next corner. You will see that this sword does have a ranged attack. You can hit someone with the sword, or you can use that projectile as well. And when you get to villages, you're able to take all of the coins that you collected during the level. You can upgrade your weapon, and you can also buy life ups and other power ups to use throughout the game. Now granted, this is all in Japanese, so you'll have to kind of just suss out what's going on here, but you can tell based upon the shape of that sprite, this is going to add life to our health bar. You get 3 hits by default and then you die, you get a couple lives and then it is game over. But you can talk to people, you can use items, you can do so many unique and different things here, and I do like that there is that upgrade and progress path forward. But like I said earlier, this game will definitely troll you here and there. You wouldn't think that those teeth could go through the rocks, but they do, and you would think if you fell here, it would be a death. I make it to this cloud, but I didn't have my run speed, but falling down here actually gives you a secret area in which you can get more power-ups and more items, and that's just kind of fun. This game is littered with areas that you would not know were there if you didn't look around for them, so the sense of discovery here is fun as well. And that's why I wanted to include this one on this series. It's one of those games that I feel like not many people have seen before, and it's one that I wish a lot more people would play. As we go to the first boss here, I love that he has this cat on a string trying to kidnap him, and then he rolls back off the screen and this gigantic robot comes down, throwing bowling balls out of its mouth. You can pretty much land on anything in this game and it's going to be safe. You can't touch it from the left or the right, but as long as you land on any sort of enemy, you can ride them along and you will be invulnerable, and that's what you do on the first boss at least. And then once you beat him, his head explodes and all sorts of money just flies out, and you get this big fanfare when you complete the level. It's a lot of story. No, I can't read it, but it is fun. And this game also has an awesome soundtrack that's definitely catchy, so go ahead and listen for 45 seconds and I'll be right back. It's a good soundtrack. I mean, it's not the best music you're going to hear on the PC Engine, HuCard or otherwise, but it does fit the game really well. And I love some of these areas just trying to circumnavigate all of those demons dropping bombs down. And now that we are on the ladder here, we're going to have to jump around and basically avoid all of the different fire. And I did use a save state there because this game is brutal and it does take a little bit to get further into the game, so you'll have to forgive me on that when I do it sometime. But again, this game is just so charming. I love the platforming. It's challenging while still being fair. It basically just gives you everything you would want. Like this rope course here, you can jump around and you need to be able to release that jump at the right time. If you are even a couple frames off, you're going to fall to your death. But that's where a lot of fun in this game comes from, that risk versus reward, learning the levels, understanding what's going to happen next, and progressing in the game. And every single world has a different color scheme, a different vibe going on. So you really do feel like you're always seeing something new and fresh, because even there that I took a hit, I was able to finally get up to this area. It even has some Donkey Kong platforming in it as well. I'm pretty sure those are barrels. They could be candy. You'll see in just a moment what I mean by that, but it is a fun area of the game and it does challenge you to have those quick reflexes, and that's what you want in a good 2D platformer. You want to have to react quickly, and when you succeed you feel like it's because you read the screen and you knew what you needed to do. When you die, it's because it's your fault and it's not because the game is being cheap. And I will say right now, this game is exceedingly fair. You figure it out and you go from there. And this is why I think these are candy. They look like hard candy to me, but tell me what you think down below. But again, it's such a strange game. You now have a bird on a rope versus a cat being kidnapped, and it doesn't make any sense, but that's kind of the charm in this. I'm not sure what the story is, but honestly, you don't really need to read Japanese to understand fun, and this game definitely is fun in spades. But of course, it would not be a 2D platformer if it didn't have the following. Everyone has to have one, and that is going to be a snow and an ice level. You have to have slippy mechanics, and it has to be in a platformer. That is basically the bylaws to be able to develop one of these things, and it is a ton of fun. Now obviously this has a lot of Japanese influence in it, so if you do understand Japanese culture, I barely do, you're going to get more out of the enemies than I am, because I'm sure a lot of these guys here are demons from different realms. That seems to be a very popular trope in Japanese games. But even if you don't understand who they are, it's still fun, and trying to navigate this area is such a challenge. You have to ride these ice cubes around the arena. It'll definitely help you, but you have to be careful. I almost stuffed that jump right there. But I will say this ice area also has a great bit of soundtrack, so go ahead and listen this time just for like 25 seconds or so. I'll come back and tell you more about the history of the game and why you need to play it. But enjoy, because this track, just as good as the last one. You'll see I jump right into those spikes there, and you're going to have to learn this game. Off the start, there's going to be some things that you do not see coming, but that is the fun. You're always wondering what's around the next corner, and you're always wondering what the game is going to do to you. So if you're looking for a fun new 2D platforming game on the PC Engine, you've not played this before, I can't recommend it enough. It's not that long. You can beat it in one sitting if you are good, or you can come back and try it in a few different sessions. But whatever you do, don't not play this game if you're into the PC Engine and 2D platformers, because it is one of those games that I would consider a hidden gem. Unless you know about it, then it's not hidden at all. Try that, this robot's definitely going to kill me, and we're going to move on to the next video in this series next week. Bye bye.